In this extension task, we're going to focus on improving the user interface of the international HelloFriends app we created. We have some code that allows us to give some messages based on which nationality button we have pressed. So button French, button Spanish, button Australian. We should have a button German as well. So if I was to duplicate that and change to button German, and the message that we would be expecting to see would be something like Guten Tag, and then Mon ami would be, I believe, Mein Freund. Okay, back at the designer, we have a set of buttons inside a table arrangement, and what we're going to do is just to make them a bit more intuitive to the user by providing icons. So a button has various properties. If I choose button French, we could do, for example, a red button for French, and maybe a yellow button for German, and so on. But these don't really tie us directly into the idea of these nationalities. A better option would be to provide some flags. So I'm going to come down here to image. At the moment the French button has image none. And I'm going to upload a file. On the network you have been supplied with some flag icons, or you could find your own. So this is in the week 2 folder, and I have a French flag which is a JPEG. I choose it, I say OK, and it loads up. Now I have specifically chosen some images which are 128 by 128 pixels. If you take much larger than that, you will have to deliberately set in pixels the amount for each of your flags. My German flag, I'm going to go to image. Notice any files I've already uploaded will be listed here. And I'm going to upload the German flag. Now, another alternative to uploading directly is to upload your files into the media section here. So I'm going to take the Spanish flag and the Australian flag. Okay, I can't do those both at once. I'm going to take the Australian flag and open and say OK. It's now uploaded into a little drawer full of media files. And I'm also going to upload the Spanish flag. And now, when I go to the Spanish button, image at the moment is none, but if I pop this open, I can see all of my uploaded files, including Spanish.jpg, which I can assign from there. Aussie needs to have image Australian. And so now it might be a little bit better to think about other things in the user interface. For example, type the name of a friend, perhaps should be a little bit larger here. I'm going to go for 24 points. That seems to be quite reasonable. Click to say hello is a green button. I could change the shape from the default button into, for example, an oval. And hopefully some of these changes that we're making are creating a more useful user interface for the end users. So now I have very obvious visual cues as to what is happening here. And I could perhaps arrange that these take up a bit more space. So rather than being their default size, if I click on German, Guten Tag, mein Freund, although if I put in a word, I've been using the on-screen keyboard here, and the on-screen keyboard can be quite annoying. If I was to go for Jim, when I click on done, it pops away. So one of the other improvements that we can make to our code is to make sure that we use hide keyboard as a call in each of our blocks of code. So back at blocks, I have procedures here, which is not what I'm looking for. I want to have the text box so text box friend call hide keyboard. So when I ask any of these to run, I automatically want to hide the keyboard. It will work for French and not for any of the others at the moment. So I'm going to click that, hello Jim, my friend. If I click into the box, the keyboard appears, and I'm going to say Paul. When I click on German, it's changed the name here. When I click on French, it changes the message and closes the keyboard down. So that's better for the end user. The other thing to be aware of is that although you're using a phone emulation here, it is possible to use your computer's keyboard for doing the typing. So if I was to highlight in here, I can use my backspace key on my keyboard. I can then type something more ambitious, like Alfonso, just using the keyboard instead of the on-screen. And again, at the moment, only button greeting and button French will hide that keyboard away when I'm finished. So I really should put this message into all of the other buttons to hide the keyboard. That's it for our international greetings app. So hopefully you're now ready to move on to some more ambitious projects.